Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of That's a Wrap. I'm Caboose.
I'm Ender the Answer.
And today what we got for you guys is our full spoiler-filled review of Deadpool 2. Now, obviously, before we jump into this, we wanted to ask you guys, of course, if you could leave a like rating on the video as it shows your support. And we would really appreciate it. So if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. And with that said, well, once again, spoiler filled.
Full spoiler.
Full spoilers. Well, obviously, you know, it's been a couple days since the movie came out. We wanted to still review the movie.
Yes.
And now that it's been out for a few days, let's just get into it.
And there's a reason why we didn't do the non-spoiler Caboose, because, like, I got to talk about spoilers.
There's a lot of spoiler stuff that we got to get into.
There's a lot of spoilery stuff, so we just went straight to the spoiler review.
Definitely. I fully agree with you. All right, so let's jump in. Let's talk about Deadpool 2. I got to say, I had a blast with this movie. It is super funny, which you obviously expect. It is amazing action, like there's some really great action scenes in this movie, and it's a good time, I'd say, in my opinion. You know, beginning to end, I was never bored, not for 1 second.
It was fun, and I'm glad I had a couple of days, Caboose, because you know when we came out of the theater, I had my gripes, I had my reservations.
You were not all
and it took me a little time to think about it, and when I really do think about it, like, we just came off of Infinity War. Yeah. The best comic book movie for me, like, ever. It's
it was great.
And it was hard. And then we come to this comedic adventure, and you got to take Deadpool for what it is. So that's why when I came out and I said to you, I was like, you know what? I think it's because just watch Infinity War. I don't know about Deadpool right now, but I took it for what it's worth. And yes, it was a blast. It was fun. When you think Deadpool, the first thing you think about, we got to talk about Caboose, is the humor.
Yeah.
The humor. And there, for me, I laughed a lot more in this movie. I mean, like, I really laughed. The trailers give you nothing.
Not at all.
The trailers give you the shittiest jokes. And, like, I really laughed. There was, like, some really original, funny jokes that, like, people that do comedic movies kind of do. And it works so well with this character.
No, this movie, there are moments where I was, like, almost on the verge of tears laughing so hard.
There was,
your
like,
face will hurt by the time the credits roll, and then they'll keep hurting as there are scenes in the credits.
Oh, yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. But to talk about a few of them, the baby legs killed me.
Oh my god, the baby legs were so funny.
Because they made a lot of reference to movies, and if you're a movie watcher, like if everybody knows this iconic scene of Basic Instinct, it's movie,
oh my god.
So he does it in there. The baby legs were killed. It's not even just him in the baby legs. It was when he crossed the legs.
Oh my god.
That's when I was dying.
That and when he gets up.
When he gets up and he's walking, it was so funny.
All the DC jokes, you know, so dark. Are you from the DC universe? That stuff's great. Like, it's great. Yeah.
Because you know what? Hey, there's no need to shed light on it right now. DC is struggling, so why not harp on them? I know that hurts you, Caboose.
I mean, I don't think that's why they were joking.
I know.
I get what he was trying to do. Right, but anyways, the humor is so good. But I think what I love the most about it is characters like Cable or like Domino, they aren't the ones that the comedy comes the most from. It obviously is from Deadpool. And it
should not, especially not Cable. And I'll get into that because this guy, Cable, you know, we'll get into Cable. I just want to say a couple more. The Canada joke, I was poking you again in the theater. That one killed me. And the X-Men cameo.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome.
How cool was that?
Yeah.
They did it so properly where they just closed the door and they were like, we don't want any part of this. But just to tie it back home, because he's always said, how come there's nobody else here?
Why are there no X-Men in the X-Men?
So that was really cool.
That was all great. Like, tons of great jokes, tons of, like, awesome little moments, Easter eggs in this movie. And
what did you think about breaking the fourth wall?
The fourth wall,
quite a bit of that.
He does quite a bit of it, but I think mainly the fourth wall stuff comes from just the jokes, you know, like saying, "Oh, are you from the DC universe?" or you know, the Logan thing at the beginning of the movie. Like, that's the fourth wall stuff that I'm okay with.
I agree, and he throws them in like just with a second. It's like a quick blurb. He looks at the camera and he does it, and I'm okay.
I honestly think in Deadpool 1 there was a lot more fourth wall breaking than there was in Deadpool 2. In Deadpool 2, it's a bit toned down. It's there and it's great, but it's a bit more toned down because I feel like there's more of a real grounded story in this movie. Much like Deadpool 1, where the heart of the movie was the romance, the heart of this movie, and it's explained right at the beginning, is that it is a family film.
And I like that, Caboose. I like that a lot. It still showed the love that he has between this woman after that movie. Although he's a disfigured, ugly person, she still loves him so much. His whole motivation in this movie is because doing something for her.
For Vanessa,
it really is, and she dies. You know, I know he had a bit of a relationship with Russell, and I think evidently he did like the kid, but everything was for Vanessa, and I like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously he cared for the kid. He wanted to do right by that kid because he saw that the kid was being hurt, like he was being mistreated. So I like that, you know, there again, just like Deadpool 1, there is a lot of heart in this movie. It's not just mindless action. It's not just jokes. There's actual heart to it and something to connect to in this movie. And there's great character development through that. So I really enjoyed that.
Now, what about putting the team together? So
the X-Force. So, okay, the X-Force thing was great. When we saw this in the trailer, I was super hyped up about this.
Me
this
too.
was so awesome. Seeing Terry Crews as Bedlam.
Oh, I know.
This
Peter.
is actually, yeah, Peter the greatest. But this actually brings me to one of my gripes in the movie is that like that's it. Like you get the introduction to them and then they're all gone.
Right.
Like
well,
just,
not all. Domino didn't
obviously,
go.
yeah, Domino stays.
But you know what, Caboose? Your gripe there, I actually didn't mind it. Because I want a Shatterstorm to die. He looked crap. I wanted him to die.
Okay,
I wanted him to go.
But I would have loved to see Terry Crews like Bedlam kicking some ass.
Wanted to see Terry
like that
Crews
was so
back.
awesome. I honestly just want to see him come back in the X-Force film that's planned to be coming later because he is so cool and it was just awesome to see him in the trailer. So yeah, that's my biggest gripe is like we see the X-Force introduced. It's like, oh man, here we go. This is the team. And then they all die.
And no one expected that. It was a good twist. But when you think about what happens later in the movie, honestly, they had to die. Where the hell were they going to fit in?
It's true.
Because they had the team in the end, right? And that's one of my gripes that we'll get to, with the team at the end. Like, it's when I think about it, like, the Colossus really need to be in this movie.
Yeah,
I liked him, but if we didn't have Colossus, would we have had more Cable? Like, I'm just jumping ahead now. We're going to go all over the place with the spoiler review. Okay. Would you have liked to have seen Cable take down Juggernaut?
Yeah, but how can he? How could he?
He can run away. He has the gun. He has the power.
See, you're doing the same thing you do with Captain America, where you think they're way more powerful than they actually are.
You might have me there, Caboose, but he can find a way. There's a comic book movie. Anybody could beat anybody. And it would have just shown how badass Cable is. And if we're just going to lead right into gripes that we're talking about right now, that's the one thing for this movie, with the humor and the way it is, a Deadpool movie. You got to take it for what it's worth. Cable, if you read the comic books, watch the cartoon, this guy's up on the badass level of a Cap, of a Wolverine.
Are you telling me he wasn't like that in the movie?
He was, but the joke sometimes takes away from it.
Are you telling me Cable's jokes?
No.
Jokes?
Deadpool's jokes, like, with him, takes a little bit away from it.
I can see what you're saying, but I mean, what did you expect? It was a Deadpool movie?
Yes, it is true. You're right. But I'm just saying, like, it does take... Like, if we get a solo Cable movie and they do it right, it could be...
That could happen. That very well could happen. And especially if we're getting an X-Force film and it's going to be X-Force, it won't be a Deadpool movie. Right. He'll just be involved in it. So maybe that will be the chance for Cable to shine a little more.
Caboose, I told you that if they make an X-Force movie and Deadpool's not in it, yes, I love the character. I'd be fine with that.
He's going to be in it.
It would be focused on Cable as the leader of that team.
Deadpool, it's a missed opportunity if they don't put Deadpool in.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But listen, I think Cable was freaking amazing. The score for Cable was awesome. Yes. His design was picture
I have never seen CGI that incredible. That was straight out of like a sci-fi fantasy movie CGI. Yeah. How bang up.
It was so good.
There's scenes, I look very closely at Caboose when watching the movie, when he's just holding Deadpool, the camera angles on his back. Yeah. You see the mechanics in the neck and everything. Oh, yeah. I mean, my God, how did they do that?
They absolutely nailed it.
When he has this scene and he's looking at the mirror and his shirt's off. Oh my God, it looks so cool.
It looked real.
So cool.
It looked real. Listen, like I said, Cable, in my opinion, was the best part of this movie. His first fight scene with Deadpool in the prison, I thought was awesome. It was brutal. It was like visceral. You felt every single punch, and it was so cool. A perfect way to fully introduce the character and his involvement in the movie. I thought it was so badass.
Now, would you have wanted to get more of him at the end of the movie? Do something a little bit more at the end of the movie? Like, you remember I told you, he's like, that gun's got one bullet left. Like, I have seen that a million times, the one bullet
left. You're nitpicking there.
Yeah, I guess.
I understand what you're saying, though. I get it. You maybe wanted to see a little more out of
Me and Caboose argued a lot after this movie, by the way.
We definitely did. I like it because I think that this movie has a lot that was great about it, and I feel like you felt that it was on the cusp of that greatness. It just didn't get to that level.
You know what's probably just killing me? God, I just wanted so much more Cable because I did love him, the design, the badass, everything. Like, God, I almost wanted it to turn into a solo. I'm not hating on Deadpool. I almost wanted it to turn into a solo Cable movie.
But I mean, it is a Deadpool movie, right?
Yes,
so,
it is.
Anyways, another side character that was really great in this film, Domino. Yes. I loved her character. She was awesome. Yes. I loved her powers and the way that they showcased that. Lady Luck taking the wheel and driving the truck around. Like,
it was amazing how they did it.
All those little things, I really enjoyed it. That was super
cool. Luck. No, that's my power. No, seriously, what is it? Luck. Like, he didn't believe it. No, she will be a central kind of like 1A, 1B character when the X-Force movie is made. Definitely. She'll be that right-hand man.
Definitely.
Now, if we get to kind of villains, we had a big spoiler review in this one, and we kind of knew. You called it, Caboose, in the movie is Juggernaut.
So Juggernaut, I think, is the biggest spoiler to talk about this movie. Juggernaut's in the movie, and this isn't Vinnie Jones, Juggernaut, rubber suit, ugliness from X-Men 3. No,
it has to be Hulk size.
The real Juggernaut. Full dome helmet and everything, and oh my god, I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't love it. He had to be CGI because obviously he's massive. But once again, I wanted to get a little bit more of him, and kind of the way that he was killed. Juggernaut, we know once again from comic books and movies, this guy is a tough character, and he was killed, was getting the pants pulled down.
I know, but that's again because it's Deadpool. Yes, I see what you mean, though. It was a little.
But see, Caboose, during this review, how many times have we said that? Because it's Deadpool, yes, but just because it's Deadpool, don't take away from some of these characters you're putting in there just because it's a Deadpool movie. Yeah. You gotta stay a little bit true to that. He shouldn't have had the pants pulled down. Like, he's a badass character.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
But I'm glad we saw him come up afterwards and he wasn't dead.
I still think he was super bad, and he did survive. You can see at the end he comes out of the pool. But I think he was super badass. I love the build up to his character. You know, we see like, oh, there's someone who's being kept in maximum security. He's the biggest guy in the prison, and then boom, on that bridge, slams his hand through the truck and destroys the whole bridge. That was so cool.
Now, I'm going to ask you, Caboose, did you feel like he was a villain in this movie? Did you feel like we had a villain in this movie? Because that was a little bit of my gripe,
I get what you mean. There was
no threat to Deadpool.
Yeah, there's antagonists, but there isn't a main villain. Much like in Deadpool 1 where Ajax is the villain of the movie. In Deadpool 1, in Deadpool 2, it's Cable is the antagonist for a little bit, then he joins their side, and then it becomes Juggernaut and Russell and them trying to basically save Russell from what ends up happening in the future to obviously relate to Cable. But I get what you're saying. There really isn't a main villain in the movie. There are antagonists, though, and I feel like it carries the movie forward. So in that regard, I was okay with it. But I understand you weren't the biggest fan of that.
Well, it's always good having a villain like a threat, like a real threat. But once again, we're going to say the line. It's a Deadpool movie. So I don't know. Now, what about the cameos?
Oh, my God. So Brad Pitt as the Vanisher freaking had me dying. That was so good.
And I'm glad we caught it because it was quick. And I wonder if any fans out there, did you catch the fact that they kept on talking about Interview with the Vampire and Kristen Dunst and Brad Pitt's in that movie?
Yeah.
So that
was great.
And they tied all that together because I don't think a lot of people caught that.
No, that was all great. The cameos were great. Obviously, the X-Mansion stuff that we talked about with the X-Men, that was awesome. And just, like overall, I felt like this was a really enjoyable movie, beginning to end. Having David Leitch, one of the directors of John Wick, which they make a joke of in the movie. Having him be the director.
Multiple jokes like that.
He brings the action that he brought from John Wick to this film. You can feel that. That whole chase scene I thought was spectacular. It was so well directed. But overall, I really enjoyed the movie.
Now, Caboose, we got to talk about probably one of the best post-credit scenes that we could ever see.
The greatest.
We were literally laughing for a good 45 seconds.
I was dying.
It was done so perfectly. Like, they keep coming back to that joke, but it's still so funny. I mean, he shoots him in the head. Oh, man, it's
the
just
Green
so
Lantern
great.
script, the fact that he goes back to X-Men Origins to kill that version of Deadpool.
Multiple times.
So good. Oh my God. Just a perfect way to wrap up this movie, and it was just... It was hilarious.
Now, before we kind of wrap up with our score, Caboose, I did want to ask you, what do you think will kind of happen with this going forward? What do you think? Do you think that will be the X-Force team going forward? What do you think? Because the sky's the limit for them now.
Well, it sounds like, I think Drew Goddard, who worked on the Daredevil Season 1 and everything, and he directed Cabin in the Woods, it looks like he is going to be making X-Force, and that is what's next. It doesn't look like we're getting Deadpool 3, but we're going to get Deadpool, Cable, a lot of the people that you saw in Deadpool 2, carry on into a full-on X-Force movie.
And you think that will be the team you're comfortable and happy with that team? I don't mind.
I'm happy with it.
I like when they go away from comic books. You don't have to do everything the way that it is, although I've said in this review that I would like Juggernaut and Cable to be the way that it is. But if that's going to be the team, it's established, that's fine. Because then we get Colossus.
Exactly. And I don't think it's just going to be them. We're probably going to see, like imagine we see like an Omega Red or we see some other X-Force related characters.
We might get Longshot. We might get Kane. I think that will have to happen. We might get a better Shatterstar. So we've got to get those at least key central X-Force characters.
Yeah, and I can see that happening because they really want to expand this universe a little bit, and X-Force is a perfect way to take some of these characters we're already familiar with and put them in a very different situation where they have to team up and, fully like do missions and stuff. So.
Now, remember I was telling you, X-Force has a very cool villain. It's kind of almost like a mirror image of Cable, which is called Strife. Now, if they do an X-Force movie, they got to bring somebody... No Juggernaut, no Deadpool 1. They got to bring a serious threat of a villain. They really do have to, I think, do that for that movie. But That's X-Force.
Hey, that would be really cool, and I'm hoping that X-Force is going to be just as big and badass as Deadpool 2 was, because I enjoyed the hell out of this movie, minus some of my gripes being the fact that we didn't see too much of the actual X-Force that's in Deadpool 2,
yes.
And I feel like the ending was dragged on just a little bit.
Did you like the first one or second one better?
I'm teetering. Like, I feel like Deadpool 1 was a more well-rounded movie, where Deadpool 2 is just like they put a lot into it. Yes. But Deadpool 2 is just really funny. It's really funny.
I was really tearing and torn on that too. I still think just because of what it did for seeing that character, it's always hard to duplicate that and be better than that. So just by a slight margin, I got Deadpool 1.
All right, I'm going to give Deadpool 2, my official rating, an 8 out of 10. What do you give Deadpool 2?
I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Wow, that was a lot higher than what you told us when we first left the movie.
It's good. I needed a couple of days.
You really needed some time to think about it. All right, so that's our thoughts on Deadpool 2, our spoiler-filled review. Obviously, we want to hear what you guys have to say. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Caboose.
I'm Enter the Answer.
And once again, if you could leave a like rating on the video, it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. And you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook. The links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new.
That's a wrap.